Hello and good morning. And here we are live in person on Boles.tv, BOLES.tv, BOLES .television. And I spell that out because we have open captions going on in our Discord server where you can follow along. We also have closed captions happening in our live stream. And for people who are hard of hearing or deaf, when I just say my name, BOLES, Bowles, it tends to get translated BOWLS instead of BOLES, and then the URL doesn't work because you can't get there. So that's why I spell that out. And when people visit us in chat and they type something, I usually read that out loud as well, because if you're watching this stream, either on Discord or via our closed captions, you cannot watch. Hey, there's Gordon. You cannot watch the captions and type in chat at the same time. So it's either one or the other. You're either watching the captions or you're watching the chat. Well, if you're hard of hearing or you're deaf, you're not following along, probably in chat. You're watching the captions. Gordon says, good morning. What does your search say? From the POV of the viewer, we see weak. And I hope there's more to it. Well, that's interesting. Hunkering down. Weak. The slow, sexy review. Weak. Things. Weak things. Break. West Side Barbell. My good friends in Ohio. So, weak things break. I also have another wonderful shirt that's from Under Armour, I believe, that says, pay your dues, which I love. I'll wear it sometime. And people always look at it and say, what does that mean? Now, isn't that interesting? When you're an old-timer, you know what it means, paying your dues. You shut up and you get stuff done. Young people sometimes tend not to want to pay their dues. They just want to start right at the top. And that's partly, I guess, social media's cause and effect, where you can be your own publisher, your own editor, your own censor, whatever I say goes. And I publish it out there, and that's it. I don't have a gatekeeper, I don't have an editor, I just put it out there. I start at the top. I'm a top streamer. Sometimes it's good to be in a process where you learn, you create, you make mistakes, you get correction from a boss or a mentor or a friend, rather than just going out there. Gordon says, that's funny. I was looking at weight plates this morning for making a good weight vest out of a hydration vest. Oh, that's very interesting. I have a weight vest. I will bring it after the break and show it to you. I like it very much. It's called a short vest. There are long vests, there are short vests. And you can go to their website and order little weight things to put in your vest. But Westside Barbell's great. They have a lot of Rogue Fitness is also, I believe, in Ohio. Ohio's a big place for weight, lifting iron. The infamous Ohio Bar, created in Ohio. People think, hey, I need an Ohio bar. And they just think that's what it's called, an Ohio bar. And it is called that, but because it was invented in Ohio. An Ohio bar is the bar that you use to put weights on the end and lift. That bar is an Ohio bar. And there are all kinds of different versions of an Ohio bar. Sometimes they're black, sometimes they're knurled, sometimes they're smooth, all for different weights and different intents and different purposes. An Ohio bar, believe it or not, has a weight of its own. So they can be 30 pounds just for the bar itself. So when you're lifting and you're adding, let's say, 100 pounds, you're really lifting 130 pounds. And some of those Ohio bars go up to like 30, 40, 50 pounds each. And sometimes if you're just starting out lifting weights and you're new to a gym, and maybe you're older, you can say to a trainer or whoever's helping you, look, I'm just going to start with the bar. The bar is 50 pounds in itself. That's enough. I don't have to put weights on the end. Just let me get used to moving the bar. I sort of have a bar here. It's a long stick. I'll bring that too. It's only 30 pounds. And it looks like an Ohio bar, but it's not. It's just a bar that you lift stuff on. But wow, it's 30 pounds, which is relatively light. But when you stretch it out over this amount of space, it gets heavy. An Ohio bar is heavy. A 30-pound bar is heavy, and you wouldn't think it is. I actually worked out with it this morning just to get a little blood flowing, to get things going. And weight vests are really, really terrific. The mistake that I have made, and that you're going to see, is I had the weight vest, and I wear it during my walks, and it was a 30-pound vest, but it can go up to 60 pounds. Well, I'll order the extra weight and put it in, fill up the vest. 60 pounds is a big difference between 30 pounds when you're wearing a weight vest. In breathing. And the most ridiculous part of it all, in trying to get it over your head. Now, getting it over your head, 60 pounds, of what's basically loose weight because it's in a flexible vest, and you put it up, and then you put it down, strap it on, you're okay. Then you go out, you do your walk, or you do your knee bends to exercise. Gordon says, just got a most fascinating ad for Chobani oat milk. If there's any company I will vouch for, every time it's Chobani. They have genuine pulled myself from my bootstraps rags to riches story for its founder. And isn't that a New York company? I think so. They are a wonderful company. I agree with you. They make great stuff. So after you're exercising with a 60-pound vest, you go home and you're tired, and you're sweaty, and you're wet, and your vest is wet. Good luck trying to pull 60 pounds this way up and off the back of your neck. It's very difficult. And what I have learned to do is just to go to the edge of the bed, bend over, and then flip it off this way. But be very careful you don't drop it on the back of your head, as I have done, because it's 30 pounds on the back of your head, and it's very painful. So I try to do all of this when someone else is home. So if I knock myself out, I won't suffocate with 30 pounds on the back of my head. But it's a great, great, great way to exercise. Just be careful of your knees as you age. Probably more treacherous on a knee injury than an ankle injury. Would it be possible to lay down and sort of shimmy out like a butterfly coming out of its cocoon? Yes, that's how I do it. Usually, I can put it on okay, but getting off is the big, big challenge. And even if you have someone helping you, they have to lift it, if they're not strong, they have to lift the back of it, and then you're lifting the front, and then you get out. And if you have a big head like I do, it tends to really shear off your ears as it comes on and off. So we'll have a big vest demonstration after the break. That'll be fun. Wasn't planning on it, but that's the delight of a live stream. And I'll show you the weights. It's really magnificently put together. And it was great for the pandemic. Because if you didn't feel like going outside or didn't feel like being with people, but you wanted to get your heart rate up, just put on the vest and walk around a little while. It wears you out. And then you think, gosh, people, lose 30 pounds. People lose 60 pounds. And if you want to quantify it, you can lift your vest and say, my God, I was carrying 60 pounds of extra weight, and this is how much it is. I can barely lift it. So think of what your heart felt and your knees felt having to carry around that extra 60 pounds. It really knocks it home for you. Well, as I spoke yesterday briefly about bots in our Discord server, and I just keep adding new bots. I have more bots on the server than I have people. And in some ways, it's very interesting. I just added this morning a ticket bot. I love servers. If you have a problem, they say, go open a ticket. And then you go to the ticket area and you click on ticket. And it's a private thing between you and the person who's helping you. And it gets fixed. And most of these bots are free if you're just, using them infrequently. But they always do have a premium version if you want to pay for it. And I like that very, very much. Because it's an easy way for someone to get your attention as a server owner. Okay, there's a ticket that's open. Or if you need help, you have a ticket with a number that people can find and look up and work with. And we're glitching a little bit, losing a few frames, but nothing serious. It's the way of the world in this live streaming. So now I have a ticket bot, I have a verification bot, I have all these bots watching my server 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And in some ways, they talk to each other and they interact with each other, creating their own sort of artificial intelligence community. They're doing things on my server that I am not even aware. Until I go into my moderator section and I see all the things that it's been done and moved and deleted and protected. It's really an amazing, amazing experience. You don't get that kind of experience on Twitch or Facebook because most of that moderation stuff all happens behind the scenes because I guess the idea is, who are you? And what business is it of yours of who's, saying bad things about you, attacking you? Whereas on your Discord server, you see it all. And some of these, there was a new bot that I put on the other day that allows you to send crypto to other people and to receive crypto and send crypto. And it's all, I have nothing to do with it. It's all done with the bot. It's a very popular bot. It's not a mining bot. But that's very interesting. People can have a transaction. So I guess if someone posted an NFT in our NFT area and wanted to sell it, they could exchange information and then pay for it, buy it right there on the server if they wanted to. It's very interesting. So I do appreciate that. Well, yesterday we had a great time discovering that I am 31% Mr. Cumberbatch. And I uploaded the 1-minute version of that clip to Twitter, because Twitter, even though I'm a blue subscriber, does not allow, I think, video clips over 2 minutes or something that you can upload to Twitter, which is the whole idea of doing it because then it's natively playing. It's much better to do it that way. So I uploaded the short version, which is also the ad that's on our Bolts TV Twitch stream as well. And then I also edited it down to the 16-minute version, which I call the whole version of the Cumberbatch experience, and put that on LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn wanted the short version. The only place I could put the 16-minute version was on YouTube and on Twitch as a highlight and on Facebook. Now, we know how we feel about Facebook. Lots of people have trouble with Facebook. The one great thing about Facebook is when you upload a video, be it a video like this or be it a podcast, Facebook will closed caption your video, which is fabulous. And their captions are not terrible. We sometimes get BOWLS instead of BOLES, but that's okay. So I'm just going to show you. This is what I uploaded yesterday to Facebook. And you're going to hear me talking to myself because I have the audio on. Where are the captions? Captions English. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it takes a little while for them to follow. And there it is.
But some people try to do that. They just
So Jana Marie was unavailable yesterday, can now sit down on Facebook and be involved in this delightful 16-minute rant and raging about who I am and who do you think you are,
I
and
said,
by the way,
"You,
you're
you."
Cumberbatch.
Me? He said, yeah, you. You look like that, that guy.
So enough of that. But it's great and also a little bit sad that the only place that you can kind of get that full experiential version uploaded by me is on YouTube, where you can always watch, and on Facebook. Twitch will not allow a long video. So that video is about 786 kilobytes. The short version is, I think, 36. I don't think that's that long. It's under a megabyte. But Twitter doesn't look at it as being a big file. They look at it as being too long, 16 minutes. It's weird to me. Here's another thing that I got in the mail yesterday that has also confounded me. And it confounds me still this morning because it looks interesting. And I noticed flipping through Twitch yesterday, XQC was talking about this as well. And he didn't understand it either. He said, it doesn't make any sense. So I get this in the email. Let's hear it for cheering made easier. Now, when I see the word cheer, I always think of a Bronx cheer, which is sticking your tongue out. Learn more, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Bowles TV. Your community supports you in a number of ways. Subs, hype, love, cakes. I guess that's a joke. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something, which I probably do. Well, we love to see it, and well, hey. We also want to see if we can make it even easier for them to do that. You've been selected, based on bits usage in your channel, to test a different way to cheer that allows viewers to unlock a fun community benefit through a direct purchase. Now, going off on a tangent just a minute. Some people say, when you start reading something, why do you say, hey, why do you use that voice? I'll tell you why. Because when I first started on the internet, I would interact with people, and most of the people on the early internet were like me. They were direct, straightforward, and sort of blunt. So I would say in an email, don't do that again, whatever. And then as the internet went on and you're interacting with different people who are not like you, an email say, that's too harsh, it's too rough, don't start an email like, don't do that. Start an interview with like, well, hello, it's so nice to see you. We appreciate you so much. I hope you're doing well. By the way, don't do that again. So I said, you want me to say all that, introduction, and then get to my point? Yes, that's how we interact with people now. That's how real people interact, not early pioneers on the web. So I thought, okay, so now, when I get silly things like this, hey, Bowles TV, hey, before we get to the point. That's why I do that. So here we go. During this test, we'll temporarily add a cheer. Is that a drum? I don't even know what the icon is. To your chat. When someone clicks the cheer drum, ring, they will then select a monetary amount. And hey, boom, 10 lucky non-subscribers will receive a random sub-emote for the duration of your stream. And you'll get 80% of the monetary amount selected after fees are subtracted. Gordon says, my supervisor has reprimanded me for being too direct. Oh, Gordon, I feel that. She said, hey. Well, instead of saying this is what you did wrong, hey, I should say, it appears you, hey, did this wrong thing, hey. Of course, to me, that feels like I'm lying because I'm well aware that they 100% made the mistake and it isn't just an appearance thing. I'm all over that, Gordon. I agree with you, but what do I know? Hey. And I actually got in trouble. This actually started, I'm now remembering, with my beautiful wife, Jana Marie, of 33 years, where I would, just email her information. Burp, 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 done. And she kind of said, it's a little rough. You could ask me, how's your day going? And then, get into it. So I said, okay. And now I do. So sometimes, Gordon, you just have to give in because people look for reasons to get very upset and become triggered and become offended. Hey. So people seem to appreciate that when I start, hey, what's going on? How are you? By the way, you owe me $50. I would just like to start, hey, 50. Thank you. Bye. But they want the introduction. They want the softening up first. So creators like you play a vital role in shaping and sustaining the Twitch community. This experiment and your feedback will help us continuing to improve the Twitch experience. Questions? I went to the questions page. I guess when people cheer with bits in your stream, which I do on my other account, Jen is streaming. The streamer, I think, gets half of that, 50%. But with this new cheer thing, you get, as the streamer, 80% of it, which is super duper confusing. So I go over here and I look at my sub account and I keep refreshing the page and I don't see this drum. It's web only, it's not iOS or Android. So I hit refresh. There's no icon drum thing there that I can see. And I don't see this on Jana's account either. So I'll cheer in a normal way, cheering, and see if I get hit with this. Because when you go to this page for more information, it shows you how you can cheer for $1, $5, $3, $5. And then the cheerer, I guess, picks the amount that everyone gets to share for only the length of the stream. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't appear to be active. It's been 24 hours and it's not there. Oh, my computer's very slow. But we're not losing frames, so that's good. Still loading. Okay, here we go. Sort of loading. Now I'm going to test. It says I'm fetching my bits. Whatever that means. And Gordon, what difference does it make? It appears you've made this error, and I certainly hope that you might correct this in the future. Wait, wouldn't you just prefer to say, hey, you made a mistake? This is the fix. Talk to you later. But people don't want that. They want to be softened up first. It's a very weird thing. But Gordon's boss is telling Gordon how he or she wants to be referred to in the future. So that's a hint. Well, this whole page is just really weird, and this is not a great angle for you to see me. cheer. Well, I'm trying to cheer, but it's not cheering. I'm refreshing the page. And now I'm just going to take a break and come back with my vest and my pseudo-looking Ohio bar. And then see if I can cheer. Maybe I can I cheer from Jan's account? I don't think she has any bets. But if you happen to see that drum somewhere, you'll have to let me know. I will return momentarily. My ad button is saying I can't hit my ad, which concerns me because when I hit the ad, then everything gets delayed. I don't know why the ad's not working. Let me see. Maybe I can fix it this way. We'll see. I don't know if this will fix it. We'll try. I have to manipulate my Stream Deck. Now let's see if that reset it. Nope. Something's up. Maybe it won't. Maybe it just ran an ad. I don't know. Sorry. We'll see what happens. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. Oh, feeling with my weight vest. And while we were on break, Gordon said ads ran, including one from our favorite character, Brad Bellflower, a.k.a. Jeff Goldblum, who apparently is coming back for another Jurassic Park film. Well, good, I hope so, because maybe if he makes more films, he won't have to do those silly commercials. But I'm sure they're paying him a lot of money for those ridiculous commercials. And everybody loves Jeff, including me. He's just terrific. And I'm glad the ads ran. I just don't think that because usually when I click my ad button, I get a green check mark. And this time when I click my ad button, I got a yellow triangle with an exclamation point, which means there's something wrong. And I don't know what it means. I don't know why. Maybe I should check it again, see what's going on. Pull it up. The account is fine. I have no idea what happened. Now the bit's cheering with the drum, it's not there. But I can cheer with bits, so I should test this and see if it shows up in the stream and see what I have. My cheer is currently processing. Hey, Gordon, hey! Hey, Gordon, hey! Oh, I cheered 3 times for Gordon. Fabulous. So that worked, but there's no drum. Now, did you notice when Twitch wrote to me, they said they started their email with, hey, hey. So, Gordon, it's a clue for you. From now on, start everything with, hey. Not with me. Me, get to the point. Everybody else, hey. I think is ridiculous. I'm saying, hey, with a little bit of contempt when I voice it and when I type it in an email, but people who receive it seem to appreciate it. Who am I to judge? I'm putting the best of them for. Now, if something happens to me during this live stream, and I'm unresponsive or I go away to take off my vest and you don't hear from me for 10 minutes, call 911. Hey, we're the monkeys. There you go. Gordon has it right. The monkeys started years ago. Hey, we're the monkeys. And I learned many years ago that if you have an emergency, you can dial 911 wherever you are. We were living in Jersey City, just moved there. Our apartment had caught on fire. Our superintendent was trying to thaw a pipe in the building, and in our walls, a fire was started, and the firemen came and had their thermal thing where they looked in the walls to decide if they had to tear down all of the drywall in our apartment. It all worked out okay, but it was a big mess. And the super said to me, call 911. So I called 911, and Jersey City's in New Jersey, and I had a 212 New York City phone number. And it was interesting. So when I called 911, they said, 911, what city? I wasn't expecting that. That's like calling, 411, information. What city, please? So I thought, oh, okay. Because I guess the operator knew I wasn't calling from New York City. They could see it on my phone. So they said, what city? So I said, Jersey City. And they said, one moment. And I could hear click, 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 dot, dot, dot. Jersey City 911, how may I help you? Wow, that was cool. So if this happens to you with me, call 911 wherever you are and say, I need 911 for Jersey City. And wherever you are in the United States, at least, they will transfer you to Jersey City 911, and then you can report, this live streamer has knocked himself out with a 60-pound weight vest and is non-responsive. And maybe they'll send help. Or maybe they'll say he just deserved it. So this is what I call my Ohio bar. It's not an Ohio bar, but it has a rubbery thing. It's only 30 pounds. But lifting it feels like it's 150 pounds. I gotta go the other way so you can see the logo. And I actually ordered this from Amazon many years ago. So when you're dealing with 30 pounds, it makes it very unwieldy. So this is it. Yes for All. Here's the brand name. And this is how long it is. It's huge. And just this morning, I was doing this. Go behind the head. Right? Okay. Deep knee bends. It all works out great. So I'm already getting tired. And here's the end of what it looks like. 30 pounds. has chalk dust on the end. Chalk dust is everywhere, by the way. Now, this is 30 pounds. I believe you can get this bar up to 50 pounds. For me, 30 pounds is plenty. It's very heavy, but it would work great as, you could put it on your door. People have a hard time getting in. Has sort of a door brace. Now I'm going to try to show you my weight vest. I should take some weight out before I put it on, but I probably won't. Because I'm very vain. So, this is my weight vest. It's MIR. Might have to stand up. MIR. Very heavy. 60 pounds. That's the front. This is the back. These are what the weights look like. And I believe each one of these is like 6 pounds. And they go in these little pockets. So I'm going to take out some weights, so I can actually weigh this and show it to you. Here's another weight, MIR. Ordered it directly from them. And the replacement weights were very, very cheap. Now, it's not a lot of material. And they shipped fast. It was really amazing. It was here like in a day. So I guess they have them in stock, which is nice. And the lesson that I have yet to learn is that when I had this only as a 30-pound weight vest, I wore it a lot. It was fun. And then I doubled the weight, and now I don't wear it as much because it's very heavy. And I can't lift it over my head. Take a lot of weight out. One more. Okay. That's just the back. I took 6 out of the back. And I'm going to do the front for demonstration purposes only. Okay. More. Oh. More. Oh. They're like bars of soap. And then the very bottom, from which there's no return. Okay. So. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. They can't be 6 pounds. It must be 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 10, 30. Okay, so maybe it's back down to 30. Now I have a manageable vest. Now I'm going to take my headphones. Take my headphones. Okay, so this is how I put on my vest. See? I didn't close. I didn't reseal the Velcro. Everything fell out. But it's back now. Okay. Yes. There. Good. So you lift it like this. It goes over your head. Oh. And you can totally adjust this front or back. Gordon says that, plus being able to hydrate with it, multi-purpose items are great in my opinion. I agree. Now this is a short vest, so it doesn't go all the way down. It goes just right here. And then here's the secret to it. You take these things, put them through 2 loops. You pull it very tight. And do the other side. 2 loops, not 1 loop. 2 loops. Pull it tight. But not too tight. Don't kill yourself. Hit. Okay, there. That's the front. This is the back. And you can walk around and try to catch your breath. Now I'm carrying 30 pounds. And it's okay. I'm all right. I can take this off easily now that I got rid of all my weight. So if you have a vest that you can turn into something, just be very careful because these, they look like soap. They are not soap. They're very, very heavy. And I have 10 of them now on my desk. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 of them still on the vest. But that's an exercise vest. It will wear you out. But in all good ways. And not in terrible ways. But it feels good to have it back on again. But I do feel, because I'm very odd, like I'm a little bit of a failure. Because I had to take all that in the live show. So I'm still not seeing that special cheer thing, which I find alarming. But I guess I'll figure it out eventually. My laptop is running out of juice. And okay, so yesterday, I'm getting ready to do my Athletic Greens review, but I will save that for after the next break because it's a little intensive and I gotta get rid of some of this stuff that's in the way. We talked about Twitter and Jeff Tiedrick. And we looked at him and he was a very interesting, fun guy, but curses a lot. Very big potty mouth. This is the other guy that I like a lot. And he follows me and I follow him. Brooklyn Dad, Defiant. A verified account. Proud Papa, always the P word. And then this is where not he gets in trouble, or people try to get him in trouble, where he is a senior advisor for Really American. And Really American is a grassroots political organization producing the most impactful political content of the day. I'll follow. And I believe, as I understand it, is that they pay him for tweeting, which is not a problem, and he doesn't hide it. It's right there on his page. And he always has something fun. And when Trump was in power, every day it was ridiculous stuff that he was saying. Not that he was ridiculous. He was responding to the ridiculous stuff that Donald Trump was saying. Raise your hand if you believe every member of Congress who stoked the fire of sedition must be removed from Congress. 205,000 people like that idea. Here's another one in all caps. Can we please stop putting traitors like Rudy Giuliani on shows like The Masked Singer? Stop normalizing criminals. Heck yeah. And then he retweets other interesting people. And this is a great retweet. Tulsi Gabbard, remember her? She's scary. Tulsi Gabbard threatened to sue Mitt Romney and Keith Olbermann for saying what we all now know. She is a Russian asset. In 2020, she sued Hillary Clinton for saying the same thing and then quietly dropped her suit. And Hillary Clinton didn't accuse her of anything. It was her spokesperson, and I think the phrase was something like, if the Russian doll fits, something like that. It was very funny. And why? At the end of the day, she knows we're all telling the GD truth. And it is weird that she does support whatever Putin says, and yet she has power. Some power in the Democrat Party. Brooklyn Dad also says Beto O'Rourke forced Greg Abbott to stop his ridiculously expensive $9 billion publicity stunt by applying pressure. Beto will make an excellent governor. I agree, but Beto has a little bit of a problem. He comes off a little bit flaky. And his rich wife, who supports everything he does, which is not a bad thing. John Kerry has the same thing. Married the ketchup heiress, and she gives him all money for all of his campaigns. Not successful campaigns always, but family money is family money. But the problem is, when Beto makes an announcement or has something important to do, his clinging, cloying, rich wife is right there in the shot with him, holding onto his arm and smiling into the camera. It's like, Beto, you need to stand on your own, at least look independent, because that family picture is a little creepy. I don't know if he has the seriousness to pull it off, because you have to get a little bit down and dirty in Texas if you want to be the governor. And here's Brooklyn Dad, I guess, making a video. Now, this is interesting to me because this is an hour and 41 minutes long. And I guess it's just a podcast, so it must be embedded. It's obviously not uploaded to the Twitter servers because you would never get it in and let it play that long. But maybe this is just, like a PR commercial or something. And there he is again. I find him very real. He's very funny. I appreciate what he has to say. And sometimes you need truth tellers in this terrible world in which we find ourselves spinning at times. And now I'm going to go take a very brief break to get rid of this vest. I'll leave all my soapy weights here and take the vest off that away. I don't think I'll need 911, but you never know. I'll be back in a moment, and I'm going to hit the ad button again and see what happens. As they say in Tenet, what happened, happened. We'll see what happened. Now it worked. I have the green check. Enjoy the ads. See you in a moment. And we are back from break. No reason to call 911. I have survived the weighted vest and the Ohio bar experience. That is not actually an Ohio bar. And while we're on break, our old friend, our young friend, El Beyonce, said hi. Patience, young Padawan, patience. Where is he? I'm right here. We were on a very brief break, but we're nice to have you. Nice to have you here, back with us. It's been a while. What's new? I hope you're up to good things. You'll have to tell us where you are and what you're doing. But in case you missed it, cast iron. Well made. Not rough. Especially when they're in a weight vest and they're never seen. But they're logoed and no sharp edges. So they're milled and they're taken care of in a very nice way, which I super duper appreciate. I like the quality. Oh, we've been talking about working out and exercising. And before I get to my Athletic Greens review, our old, good, young friend Gordon sent me this wonderful email yesterday. And there's Mr. Gordon there. Oh, Gordon says, those mirror weights are expensive. 2 for like 16. And that's used. For something going into a weight vest, that seems like a lot. Well, that's interesting. Oh, here we go. Boyfriend, my body changed. Michael, I mean boy to a girl. Okay. That sounds very interesting. I hope you had a good experience. You're welcome to chat about it here if you are so inclined, but you don't have to. No pressure here. The reason I like the mirror vest, and I'm just staying in that world, is because the mirror vest is a short vest, so it stops right at your rib cage. The other vests go all the way down to your stomach, making it very hard to breathe. So the short vest is better. Trans, I mean. Okay, that's very interesting. And was your transformation done with the aid of doctors and clinicians? Is it a medical transition or is it just a mental transition? Is it both? I don't know how it works, so I'm not trying to ask an offensive question. And again, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to. So, Gordon, I like the mirror stuff. And as I said, it's milled. It has a coating on it. It's just not cheap. It's well made. For me, it's worth the money, but I understand you're doing a different kind of thing. El Beyonce says, yes, all ha-ha. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, here we go. When the chat is going, we get the timers working, which is delightful. And hey, El Beyonce hasn't been here for a while, so I'll put up the Discord server where you can join the live chat here by going to our Discord server. And we have lots of places you can have conversations about many topics. And you can join our live stream in text, which is being transcribed right now, and also chat with your voice if you are so inclined. It hurts so bad. Well, I'm sorry about that. That's not good. And how long were you thinking about this transition before it happened? Is it something you knew all your life, or was it something that just sort of emerged? So I'm surprised you can see these on the aftermarket. I think I bought mine direct from Mir, and the price direct was pretty good that I remember, but maybe it was a pandemic special, because I was very surprised. It was 30 pounds. And they shipped it almost immediately through the post office. I felt bad for our postman. Had to carry it. It was a small package, this big, but it was still heavy. So they paid a lot for shipping, to ship that fast. I thought it would take a month to get here because it's very, very heavy. So our friend Gordon said, here's a good laugh for you. There is an article with the very clickbaity title saying something along the lines of Tobey Maguire. We talked about Tobey and Spider-Man in the universe a couple of days ago. In Tobey Maguire's official return to the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is what all these Marvel movies mean separately, but they all come together to live in the same universe, hinted at Doctor Strange and a Tide ad. Okay. You then, of course, click the article. They won because Gordon clicked. And what's the ad? Doctor Strange's former assistant Wong, who was made the Sorcerer Supreme at some point off-screen, struggling with Doctor Strange's mystic cape, which sounds very ridiculous. Can you put it on again, please? The Discord. Oh, there's Mr. Gordon helping me. Thank you so much. It's also up here. See, if you see here, that's everybody who's in the current Discord. Now, I'm going to have to clear you to get in there to use your voice, but we can do that. Open a ticket. I have a new ticket area. And then this over here, way over here, other corner, that's also our Discord server. So then Gordon says he chases it in a number of locations and it ends up in a pizza place. This crazy cape, I guess, where he finally is able to convince it to let him wash it with Tide Pods laundry detergent, which he gets by magic, of course. I mean, they put a lot of thought into this. Obviously, it wasn't cheap. The article then goes on to say that eagle-eyed fans will recognize the pizza place as the same pizza place where Tobey's Peter worked before getting fired. And that, sure, the commercial isn't part of the MCU, but hey, oh, Gordon's using the word already. From yesterday. But he's using it today, yesterday. Hey, Gordon, hey. It's surely got to be a possible hint to fans, right? The mental acrobatics some of these bloggers will go to in order to get a click. Hoping you laughed a bit. And I did laugh. I thought the whole thing was very silly, but also very sad. As the owner of several websites, and one big one called blowsblogs.com that's been around for a long time, I get all kinds of exhausting daily hits from people who want to put ads and backlinks on all of our articles. Because we have 6,000 articles and we don't have any advertising. So they think this is, oh my God, can you imagine what I could do with all these articles and inserting ads? And then you go, and I'm not interested, not happening. And then you go to other websites like Politico and other reputable websites. And down at the bottom, they have all this link stuff. It's just gross. And none of it's true. It's just there to get clicks, and it cheapens their content, and it makes you wonder why they do it. And even on Twitch, for a while, maybe 4 months ago, there was this big thing that in the description, oh, you missed the voice on Helium. I did it via a voice mod. And I even talked about you, mentioned you when I did it. I said, it's too bad my friend El Beyonce 2 is not here because this is what was requested. And I only charged, I think it was 5,000 bits for it. So maybe next time. And when you start your Twitch stream, you write a little description about what you're going to talk about. And for a while, there was this nefarious, awful thing where people would put in their Twitch streams, hey, Hikaru Nakamura, who I follow, who's a great chess grandmaster, Hikaru Nakamura mentioned you today. Hey. And you see that on your phone. Hikaru Nakamura mentioned me. What? Now he's streaming live? What? And you click and you go, and then you realize after 10 minutes, Hikaru Nakamura did not mention you. And then you see on the description of his live stream, Hikaru mentioned you today in the live stream. And then other people would sort of copy that and say, we talked about you today. Oh, why are you so cute? Ha ha ha. Sorry. I take that as a compliment. Hey. And Hikaru Nakamura did it one time. And I was like, because other streamers were doing that as well, because it gets people to go to clickbait through to watch their stream. And Hikaru did it once. I think it was a joke. But once he did it and people showed up in chat, they were telling him, why did you do this? And then he quickly had to backtrack and say, look, other people are doing this. I thought you all knew about it. I thought you would think it's funny. I'm sorry if I misled you. I'm not talking about you. Because he doesn't talk about anybody else. So that was weird. And it makes you wonder why. I mean, are these streamers so desperate? And these are successful streamers so desperate to get people to go to their stream just for a minute or two before they realize that they have been ripped off, that they're not talking about you, they're faking you out to try to get you to show up, clickbait, Tide Pods, Doctor Strange, and it's just negative. But there are some people, as we've discussed before, who think any publicity is good publicity, even if it's negative. You remember the person who farted in the room and bragged about it. Now, I call that a negative experience, but other people say, hey, you remember it, right? You talk about it, right? That's publicity. That's good. I happen to disagree with that sort of philosophy. So we talked about exercising. We talked about some weight vests. And now I'm going to get into a very brief review of Athletic Greens. Now, I have no association with Athletic Greens. They haven't contacted me. I haven't contacted them. I'm not going to contact them and tell them to watch this live stream. I'm simply sharing information and experiences with you that I find valuable and interesting. And we'll go to their website in a minute. But this is what Athletic Greens is and what it looks like now. Welcome to Essentialist Nutrition Movement, AG1, by Athletic Greens. And it's a green thing that you can put in your, I guess you could sprinkle it on your food, but you really drink it once a day. In the morning, on an empty stomach, first thing you ever do. And then I don't eat anything or take any medication, anything until about 30 minutes after, just to make sure this is there working. What does it do? Why do you have it? I'll get into that, but I'll show you, because being OG is important to me. When Athletic Greens first came out, and OG means original gangster, by the way, we signed up as a family for their monthly subscription. And you have to subscribe every month, but you can cancel any time. And this was part of the package that they sent, Athletic Greens. It's sort of a ceramic bowl kind of thing, and you would put your greens in here, right? That was their logo, that was their branding back then. And that's why I'm old school, original gangster. And this is the top, made of bamboo with this rubber thing. And you put this on here. And you would crunch it down. And then every morning you'd take out a scoop for me, a scoop for Jana Marie, drink. Now, the one thing about Athletic Greens is they are what I call micronized, which I mean means aerosolized. Meaning that if you just breathe in the general area of Athletic Greens, they get everywhere. So getting this off, you get a cloud of green Athletic Greens everywhere. Well, Beyonce says, did you talk about paranormal things? Because I have a lot of experiences. We have not yet talked about paranormal things. And if you have something you would like to chat about or bring about, you can do it a little bit later after I'm done talking about Athletic Greens, or you can find me on our Discord server and let me know what you plan to talk about. Because if it's Unsustainable, it's going to be hard to have a conversation. So I've saved this, even though we haven't had an active subscription for several years. Now, the new Athletic Greens, the new branding, which I say I like, this is what it looks like now. This is 30 days worth. So we got 2 of these delivered to us yesterday. Made in New Zealand. Okay, haha. Thank you, El Beyonce. List of ingredients. I'm not even going to list the ingredients because there are too many of them. It goes on and on and on and on. So if you take this once a day, you're going to be covered probiotics, vitamins. You don't have to take extra supplements because this, and it's expensive, at about $150 a month for 2 people, but it covers everything. So if you're taking other supplements, other probiotics, you don't need to because you got this. And they give you a scoop and a shaker thing, but the canister to hold your Athletic Greens now looks like this, which I really, really, really like. AG1, just AG. Maybe there'll be an AG2 someday, I don't know. And this is the best thing. To open it, you just twist that much. It's not even a full twist, it's half a twist. And you pull it off, I see it gets everywhere. And there it is, Athletic Greens. With the nice metal scoop, very high quality. And 1 bag goes into this. So in the span of, I would say, 4 years, we've gone from this to this. And it's really amazing. Really terrific. Now, what are Athletic Greens? Why do I need them? What am I doing here? Here we go. And you may have seen this advertised on television. This is their website, which is really well put together. They sell it. They sell it really, really well. And January and I decided, hey, we're getting a little bit older now. We want to be healthy. Sometimes we're really on the go now that the pandemic is lifting. And this just sort of gives us a terrific base from which we can spin into the rest of the world. Get your AG1. AG is made from the highest quality ingredients in accordance with strict standards, obsessively improved based on latest science, quality ingredients. The full ingredient list. Do I dare click or am I? Oh, here we go. Vegan, hello. All this is just terrific. Calories, 50. Fiber is very good. Protein, 2 grams. And you could read this for yourself. I'll put the link in chat. AG1. Boom. So these are all the ingredients they have. Terrific. Okay. You're going to need a smaller cabinet. Yeah, it is. It's very true. Now, some people say, why can't you just eat all of this nutrition? Well, you can. But sometimes there are things that you're trying to get that are not always easily to get in a serving. You have to eat like a lot of it in order to get the same serving. You can get a pouch or a trout. This is what we got. Athletic Greens. You get 5 little travel packets. We also got some kind of eyedropper thing that has, this is what we got. The double subscription, with this thing. The eyedropper thing. So for 2 drinkers, you get 60 servings, delivered monthly. You get a premium jar and shaker, showed that to you. No commitment. Free vitamin D, which is the little eyedropper thing, which I like a lot. And it tells you 1 drop is this, 2 drops is this, 5 drops is that, and 5 travel packs. And you can add those things to your subscription if you want to. So, our genius friend, Russian friend, Alexei Guzzi, who takes on the sleep industry by doing his own research, took on Matt Walker, and completely destroyed chapter 1 of Matt Walker's book, who is the sleep guru, and saying this guy didn't do his research. And who is Alexei? He's a student who now runs his own foundation out of Massachusetts. He is a Russian who does not want to be Russian any longer. And this is his sort of review, in a way, of Athletic Greens. My low-demand, worry-free, healthy diet. I moved to the U.S. 2 months ago. This is from last year. And I'm pretty sure that I finally figured out food. I thought my setup might be helpful for other people, so I'm sharing it here. And this guy, I'm telling you, is just like me and just like Mr. Gordon. He's very specific and very wonky and tends to make people around him a little crazy. And he does not start anything with, hey. I find this diet very tasty, and I believe it to be extremely healthy. Plus, it's $19 a day. It requires fewer than 10 minutes a day for cooking and cleaning. All the meals are extremely convenient to consume at my desk while I keep working. I spend zero time choosing which food to buy. I should note, I don't really care about food in the bigger picture. That's what I've always said about myself. If I could take a pill that would cover all my daily requirements in protein, I would be very happy. I don't want food. I don't need food. I don't want to prepare food. I really don't care about food in the bigger picture, and I'm mostly annoyed by it. Therefore, INTJ all the way. Therefore, I minimize annoyance as much as possible. Although I love sugar to the point where I'm forbidden by my wife from eating anything sweet most of the year, as I cannot control myself and gradually start eating only Snickers. So this is his diet. Muesli with kefir and Athletic Greens, superfood powder for breakfast, lunch. And this is how he prepares it. Then he has meal squares for lunch. This is how he prepares it. In terms of macronutrients, the diet is about 2,500, which is what you want to eat to maintain your weight. His reasoning as follows. I love muesli with kefir for breakfast, while meal squares seem to actually have everything one needs for proper nutrition. Just in case, since vegetables are lindy, I will add good green powder. I don't know what that means. Vegetables are lindy. I don't know. Which is probably actually healthier than normal vegetables that lose most of their nutrition after being plucked and before being eaten, to make sure that I have enough vegetables in my diet. And then he creates a Google sheet. It can be viewed here. And this is his breakdown of everything that he does, which is very scientific and very nerdy and very us. And he makes his own fact. Why not just eat or drink Soylent? And I do. I love Soylent. Soylent drinks bars end up costing almost exactly as much as meal squares. But with Soylent, I would be worrying whether soy protein isolate, maltodextrin, and seed oils, the three main ingredients of Soylent, are any good for me, and whether simply mixing isolated ingredients and vitamins ends up missing some unknown unknowns of food. Three main components of meal squares, in contrast, are whole grain oats, eggs, and milk. And Soylent drink doesn't feel very good, while Soylent squares have a weird aftertaste. Soylent drink powder, yes. Soylent drink RTD, no. Soylent squares tasting like candy, yes. So he talks about kitchen equipment. Why buy the super expensive Athletic Greens when there are endless superfood powders on Amazon for half the price? Very good question. I read a lot of reviews of all kinds of other powders, and I couldn't get myself to the point where I could trust any of them 100%. Now I agree with you. Some had issues with consistency, some were magnetic, some had weird ingredients, most tasted like the S word. Since I want to minimize my worry, I figured that simply buying the most expensive powder that brags about its clean production, is specifically endorsed by Tim Ferriss as one of the few supplements he uses, has a bunch of weird but cool sounding S in it that other powders do not usually have. And it tastes good. When I add it to my muesli while being stored in individual packages, it's worth an extra $50 to $80 a month. Plus, I literally no longer have to worry about not eating enough fruits and vegetables, of course, which is very true. How do you feel? What if I'm not in the USA? Now, here's where it gets really interesting and fun. The comments. Bobby says, I tweeted at you, but it probably makes more sense to post here. I don't agree with you that a green powder is probably healthier than normal vegetables that lose most of their nutrition after being plucked and before being eaten. The nutrition is definitely more likely to be lost in all the processing that's done to turn it into powder. Also, perhaps more importantly, consuming things in powdered form completely changes how your body responds to it. A simple example can be seen in how oatmeal made from powdered oats spikes blood sugar more than made from full-sized oats. What would worry me more, though, is that my body would have gone to town on everything in the powder before it reaches the lower ends of my digestive system. More and more science is coming out about the gut microbiome and how important it is, and just how little we know about it. I know you're eating kefir and getting probiotics from the powders, but there's billions of microbes in you that like to feed on a variety of things. Only getting your greens from powders seems like you're risking starving a lot of those great little bugs of stuff they'd like to eat. I'm pretty anti these kinds of powders because we don't have any good data on how consuming them instead of whole foods might affect you in the long term. Anonymous Coward says, this is definitely unhealthy. Diet shouldn't be a monoculture. That's less robust. Hey, just like crop rotation for farming. I think you would benefit from adding 2 to 4 meals a day. Now, yeah, this is what I love. Alexi replies. He does not start out with, hey. I do not understand this criticism. Do you consider a diet consisting of oats, raisins, almonds, flaxseed oil, cashews, pumpkin seeds, whole grain oats, eggs, milk, dark chocolate chips, chocolate sugar, cocoa butter, milk fat, whey, orange juice, rice bran, sunflower seeds, dates, sweet potatoes, apples, vegetable glycerin, chickpeas, carrots, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, xanthan gum, sunflower lecithin, xylitol, iodine, sea salt, potassium, citrate, cinnamon, and a mix of dozens of plant extracts, vitamins, etc. Monoculture? How dare you? Then the Anonymous Coward says, I think by monoculture here, he means you eat the same thing every day, despite that the meal itself is healthy. Our body may need different amounts of each kind of nutrition, so getting the same amount of nutrition all the time may not be healthy. I lost my music. I hate when that happens. Now we're playing. Correction, Anonymous Coward says. Our body may need different amounts of each kind of nutrition at a different time. There's no meat? Anonymous Coward says. Alexi replies, milk and eggs are meat. Anonymous Coward, sources of omega-3. Any blood work done to check vitamin D levels? Well, that's that little dropper you get from Athletic Greens. But Alexi says, yes. I supplement omega-3 and vitamin D. We'll add it to the post. Thank you. So it goes on and on and on. But I love it that Alexi wrote this because it's just terrific. Makes a lot of sense. And it's a real life experience of what he goes through every day. Now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break. And we will return in a moment. This time the ad did not fire, so maybe we just had an ad that ran. I don't know. We're experimenting. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. We are live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Fun show today. Did some exercising. Our friend El Beyonce stopped by to say hi and has now disappeared. Stops in every 3 weeks, asks me to suck on the helium in those balloons to talk funny, and then I don't do it. Gone. However, I see our friend El Beyonce has joined our Discord server, but has not yet asked for access to our live chat channels. Maybe it's coming later in the day, I don't know. Paranormal stories on the way. So I'm going to finish today with a sort of interesting story from Jana Marie's ASL class that happened last night. They're working on classifiers in level 4 of American Sign Language. Now, classifiers are very interesting ideas and difficult things for students to catch and understand because you are English, because they are using English. And one issue last night was not classifier related, but the problem was the difference between buy and pay. The students are saying it's the same thing. And I say they're not the same thing. And if you think they're synonyms in ASL, are they synonyms in English? I bought a car. I pay a car. I paid you for the work you did. I bought you for the work you did. They're not the same. They come from different angles. Now, the problem I think the students have is they see this, buy, from here to here, buy, and pay. They think the motion is the same thing. And you're not going to say buy this way. That doesn't make sense from a time point of view. Time is always going forward, time is backward, depending on your position of your hands. So the idea is that pay, physically, mentally, and emotionally, goes from here to there. Whereas buy, even though you're signing it this way, goes from that to here. You're receiving when you're buying. You're paying out, you are buying. So we'll see if that goes over in that class. That's my take on it. But last night they were doing classifiers. Now, like a classifier is a hand shape. And they were, I guess, drawing things on little tiny wooden cards. And you could draw or you could paint. That was your homework. And then you showed your artwork in class last night. And then you used classifiers, not vocabulary words, to describe what you created. So one super neat one that I have now borrowed for today's show is this. It's a delightful artistic drawing of a mushroom. This was painted by an artist in her class with watercolor. Okay, now this is what's neat. Mushroom is this. Mushroom. Some people sound like this in the Midwest. Some people sound like this on the East Coast. But that's the sign for mushroom. Okay, mushroom. Boom. Done. But that's not a classifier. So the class objective was to describe with classifiers what you created. So this student used the classifier grass, green. For mushroom, so this is the classifier. Okay. Red. Dots, right? And I know you say red and then dots, but you're describing the scene. So it's, red, then dots, sky, Clouds, classifiers. Otherwise, you just say sky blue. Clouds, white. But you're describing a scene using classifiers. So it was a wonderful job. I loved hearing the story. And this is just a wonderful little teeny tiny piece of artwork. And most students, they used colored pencils or they used crayons. Use whatever you want to use. But this was designed with intention. This was designed with beauty in mind and purpose. And the student even put her name on it and signed it. Gave it to Jen as a gift, which I think is great. And maybe I borrowed it. Maybe I've stolen it forever. It depends. So we had a wonderful show today. If anybody here has anything they want to say, go ahead and say it before we close. And you don't have to start with, hey. I'm telling you, if you start using hey with all your email you do and talk about the weather and I hope you're doing well and, you're very quickly going to get feedback saying, you are so friendly. It makes my day when I get an email from you. Even though after the introductory paragraph, you're very straightforward and blunt with me, but boy, that opening is just so friendly. If you have any ideas or comments, feel free to either send me an email, david@bowles.tv. You can super follow me on the Twitter @David Bowles. On Facebook, regular old Bowles, Bowles. On Instagram, it's Bowles Books. And on TikTok, it's Bowles TV. Now, TikTok is a very strange thing because everything has to be like this. Now, we were taught when you post a video, it's this way. Classifiers, not this way. But TikTok is up and down. So you see these live streamers and the bottom is their face and the top is what they're showing. It's very weird. It doesn't work very well for a live streamer. And we are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And please, if you are so inclined, be like El Beyonce and join our Discord server. Now, I don't know why that says Streamlabs instead of Bowles Bot. It's very weird. Things are going on today that I don't like. And there are things that are going on today that I do like. That's life. Half and half. Take the good with the bad. And we have a live stream that goes on simultaneously where you can follow the transcription and chat and text. You can join in voice if you're approved. And there are other areas where you can just go in there and talk. And I'm setting all of this up in anticipation that one day Facebook's going to be gone. Twitter is going to be purchased by a selfish, foolish billionaire, and nobody will hang out there anywhere. And now you can just go to Discord and say whatever you want, within reason, and have a nice chat and not worry about it disappearing or being controlled by some maniac other than me. There's Mr. Gordon saying apologies that I won't be able to join you tomorrow on account of the end of the holiday of Passover. I thank you so much for being here as much as you have been here, Gordon. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful holiday tomorrow. I'm very grateful that you let me know about tomorrow because it makes a difference psychically and emotionally. And I will start preparing myself. And I'm not kidding. It's different when Gordon's here, and it's different when Gordon's not here. Different show, but it's all good. And make sure if you're on the web, Gordon, you click on the sword thing in the chat if you haven't already, and click on that, and it will expand. It will give you all of your moderator powers that you may wield against the unwieldy, or you may choose to be responsible with your power, because with great power comes great responsibility. Which in the multiverse version of Spider-Man was just ridiculous, because Aunt May could barely speak the line without it being so ridiculous. It worked better with Ben dying saying it. But that's a discussion from a couple of days ago, so I'll let that go. But Gordon, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday tomorrow. And when you wake up, when you go to bed, when you take a nap, everyone, I hope you feel better. Sleep can be good for the mind, and it can nourish the joy of the soul. And Gordon says, I thought it was heartwarming how the other two Spider-Mans are like, oh yeah, I recognize those words. It was a wonderful moment in the movie. And they both got it from their version of Uncle Ben. Now, do they know who Aunt May is? I don't know. The girlfriends are different. The friends are different. It's strange. But that was a great moment between Toby and Andrew. I enjoyed it very much. They already knew the story. And when Aunt May said it, you could just tell the Spider-Man was like, please hurry. Say it faster. Toby had an old Aunt May. That's right. I remember. I preferred the older Aunt May. I thought she was much more interesting and wiser. So until I see you tomorrow, or not, we will always be together and psychically connected no matter where we are in the world. Like it or not like it, hey. May you find joy in your soul, and may you share it with the rest of the world. I will see you tomorrow, perhaps, or Monday, or whenever. Stay in touch. I'll see you soon. Oh, and Gordon says, the moment where Andrew Garfield, Peter, says right before they go into battle, hold on, guys, I love you. Allegedly, this was improvised, and when you see their faces and reaction, you know they weren't expecting it. I love it. Now that, to me, see, Andrew is a stage actor. That's where he came from. That is his background. And stage actors who start on the stage and have to memorize lines and who have to fill space with interesting things that are not always under their direct control are always better film actors. Film actors who start in film and then go to the live stage have a lot of problems because the live stage is very, very difficult. And that's why Marlon Brando, to me, is the greatest film actor that we have ever seen. He was raised in the theater by his mother, Dorothy. His mother, Dorothy, in Omaha, Nebraska, created the Omaha Community Playhouse, which is still going very strong. And that's where Marlon got his start on the stage with his mother. And the Omaha Community Playhouse, OCP, has, when I last checked, something like 35,000 season ticket holders. They make millions of dollars a year. They put on Broadway quality shows in the Midwest. And it's all because of Marlon Brando and his beautiful mother. And that's what's so great when you watch Marlon. There are little things that he does that you can tell that no one's expecting, that he just does because that's what you do on stage. You try to make it just a little bit different. So you're not just reading a line that's a stale line every single day. And you repeat it 8 shows a week. It gets repetitive and boring. Now, you're not changing dialogue, but maybe you're changing the way you move, the way you look at somebody, and just those little subtle things make all the difference in the world. And you can see it. Marlon Brando's in a movie, sitting in a chair, fiddling with his thumb, messing with his nose. It's real. It's not planned. It's spontaneous behavior caught on live film. It's very delightful. So until tomorrow, or Monday, or whenever, I will see you again. If you have something else to say, say it. I'll pop back in, even if we're on our stream break. Oh, there's Gordon. Maybe on Monday we'll have to mention the connection between what you just said and Romanian sculptor Constantine Brankas. Well, that sounds like more of a threat than a promise, Gordon. It sounds very mysterious, and I like it. I'm writing it down. I'm counting on it for Monday's show. A presentation from Gordon in somehow, some way. Brunkush, thank you. I remember that I wrote an article about Liviu Ciulei. He was our teacher at Columbia. I was the only one who knew how to spell his name. How do you spell it again? Liviuciulei. Oh, no, they could never remember how to spell Liviu Ciulei. And there was some film that he made that I put in my article that was all in Romanian. And Gordon said, oh, it's so interesting what he's saying. It's fabulous. You remember the little things. Brunkush. I will look it up. Or maybe I won't look it up, so I'll be surprised by Gordon on Monday. But I like that. I like artists who think out of the box and who do daring things and who are not ordinary. I'm not a big fan of reality in any kind of art. The artists who have the ability to perfectly mimic a live person, so it's almost like a photograph, I don't appreciate that talent because there's no imagination in it. You're just repeating, copying, tracing in your mind what you're seeing. The abstraction of what you're seeing is much more interesting to me as a viewer and not as a creator. I think if I want a realistic drawing of myself, I would prefer a photograph because that's a recordable event and has some veracity to it. I don't need someone to draw me with a pencil and paper in a reality sort of a way. That's what a photograph is for. But that's just my opinion. There are a lot of people who love seeing hyper-realistic renditions of artwork. To me, it's not really artwork, it's just copying. Now, Gordon, when you corrected me, we have to practice this. You should have said, hey, Dave, remember when you pronounced the name of that artist that I mentioned in chat? You know, it's sunny skies and 80 degrees here in Florida right now. I hear you have good weather, too. By the way, it's Brunkush. See you Monday. Okay, Gordon. I think we're in an ad break now. I didn't push the button, so Gordon's probably not hearing any of this because he's watching Billie Eilish selling something. At least that's what my other computer's doing. But all the ads are on different kinds of cycles. I think if I click on an ad here, then it starts. But I've also learned that if an ad just automatically plays, and then if I try to say play an ad now, sometimes it won't play because the system says we just played an ad. So I have to try to stay ahead of the ad playing by me starting it and not by letting Twitch start it. At least that's my understanding of it. So that was my response to Gordon. And my non-criticism of his correction of me in how to pronounce something. I'll practice over the weekend and make sure it sticks. I'm excited to learn something new. Every day, learn something new and your mind will stay fresh and young. And also go for a walk and lift a little bit of weight just so your bones get used to the action. And try to stay out of bed unless you're sleeping. Beds are for sleeping, beds are not for relaxing. Because the whole body just turns slowly to mush. And on that note, I will see you again when I see you again.